away from my daughter.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most awesome and kick-ass scenes involving the women of Stranger Things.
Go!
Number 20. Robin roasts the Russian.
You're going to regret that, Sook.
Most people would crumble in a secret Soviet base, but Robin Buckley isn't most people. High as a kite on truth serum, she turns a terrifying interrogation into a comedy routine, roasting her violent captors to their faces. When the intimidating Russian general demands to know who she works for, she doesn't beg for mercy. She mocks his ego and tells him how stupid their secret transmission was. Heck, she even spits in the dude's face. Robin knows she has no physical way out, yet she refuses to give them the satisfaction of her fear. In fact, her chaotic and drugged-up rambling actually buys them some time and distracts the soldiers, proving that Robin's sharp wit and refusal to shut up are just as valuable as any superpower in the party's arsenal.
And we cracked it in a day! A day! You think you're so smart, but a couple of kids who scoop ice cream for a living cracked your code in a day, and now people know you're here.
Number 19. The Turnbow Trap.
I told you to call 911! And I told you to eat your damn pie.
Season 5 wasted no time reminding us that the Hawkins women are tactical geniuses. When the Turnbow family is targeted by a Demogorgon, Erica Sinclair steps up with cold, calculated efficiency, drugging the family to use their home as a trap. It's ruthless, especially when she just straight up jabs Tina in the neck. But it was also necessary. But the true payoff comes when the Demogorgon arrives. Just as all hell breaks loose, the Demogorgon falls into a barbed wire trap and is shot by Nancy, who tags it with a tracking device. The combination of Erica's strategic brilliance and Nancy's trigger-happy execution makes this a top-tier duo moment. They didn't just survive the hunt, they turned the tables and became the hunters. It is a seamless blend of brains and bullets that left audiences cheering.
It flipped! It flipped!
Signal acquired. Headed our way.
Number 18. The Sauna Smackdown.
He's activated. Can you just trust me, please?
Max, get away from the door.
What?
Get away from the door!
At the time, the sauna test was the most brutal fight that Eleven endured. Trapped in a locker room with a flayed and murderous Billy, Elle takes a serious beating, barely dodging a barbell and getting choked into near unconsciousness. But the moment the tide turns is simply unforgettable. With blood streaming from her nose and sheer desperation in her eyes, she summons enough telekinetic force to lift Billy into the air and hurl him through the wall. It's a raw, heavy-hitting brawl that shows Elle's vulnerability and her resilience. She wasn't fighting a faceless monster, she was fighting her friend's possessed brother, and the physical toll it took on her made the victory feel earned. It still remains one of the show's most intense showdowns. Number 17. 11 flips a van.
Where are they? I don't know. I think we lost them.
When Dustin, Mike, and Lucas find 11 alone and drenched in the rain, they have no way of knowing just how much their lives will change, and how dangerous hiding her away will be. 11's being actively pursued by a group of agents from Hawkins National Laboratory, led by a man she refers to as Papa. When the agents eventually find her, they ambush Mike's home and chase the kids in multiple white vans. Just when it seems like the vans have them surrounded, Elle surprises everyone and uses her telekinesis to flip a van, allowing the gang to escape to safety. This was an early indication that 11 was just beginning to tap into her power.
See what you did to that van?
No, Dustin, we missed it.
I mean, that was awesome. It was awesome.
Number 16. Joyce closes the gate.
No, if we actually do make it out of here, we deserve to celebrate, right?
Yeah.
What if saving the world meant risking the life of the one you love? After helping Murray and Hopper infiltrate the underground Russian base at Starcourt Mall, all that's left to do is put a stop to the machine creating a gate to the Upside Down.
Hey. You ready to end this?
Hopper and Joyce are initially meant to carry out the task together, but he's attacked by a Russian soldier. With the window to close the gate narrowing, and Hopper still stuck in harm's way, it becomes clear to him and Joyce that a tough decision has to be made. Acknowledging the grim reality with a look, Joyce turns the keys, protecting her children and Earth in the process. Number 15. Max stands up to Billy.
Let's get out of here.
In Season 2, we're introduced to Max and her stepbrother Billy. While she becomes friendly with Mike, Dustin, Will, and Lucas, Billy's not quite as friendly and threatens the gang at every opportunity. Tensions come to a head when Billy's ordered by his father to find Max and bring her home. When he finds the kids with Steve, he gets into a physical altercation with the babysitter and warns Lucas to stay away from his stepsister.
If Maxine won't listen to me, maybe you will. You stay away from her. Stay away from her. You hear me?
Unable to watch silently as Billy brutally beats her friend, Max intervenes, injecting her stepbrother with a syringe. This subdues him long enough for her to threaten him with a bat full of nails and prove her allegiance to the troop and herself.
From here on out, you leave me and my friends alone. Do you understand?
Screw you.
Say you understand! Say it! Say it!
I understand.
Number 14. 11 saves Mike. Friends don't lie. And friends don't let friends get beaten up. When 11 comes to school with the boys, she witnesses firsthand how they get tormented. When Mike tries to stand up to ringleader Troy, she freezes him and forces him to pee himself, humiliating him in front of his peers.
You're dead, Wheeler. Dead! Dude, Troy peed himself.
Unfortunately, this public embarrassment only enrages Troy further.
Piss your pants?
Our friend has superpowers and she squeezed your tiny bladder with her mind. Shut up!
While searching for a missing 11, Mike and Dustin get cornered on a cliff by Troy and one of his cronies. Just when it seems hopeless, Elle comes to the rescue in time to levitate Mike to safety and break the arm of their attacker. Mouth breathers, beware.
Go.
Let's get out of here. Let's go. Go. Yeah, that's right. You better run. She's our friend and she's crazy.
Number 13. Elle brain drains the agents. Sometimes we forget just how dark Season 1 actually was. Like Elle straight up murdering people, Dr. Brenner's agents learned this the hard way after cornering her in the climactic school chase. But with a bow of her head and a glare that could freeze hell over, she begins to, we don't know, squeeze their brains into mush or something. They freeze in place, start bleeding from their eyeballs, and then just drop dead with a sickening crunch sound. Seeing armed soldiers collapse as blood pours from their eyes is undeniably gruesome, but it's also one of the most satisfying vengeance moments in the series, especially as that one doctor took out Benny earlier in the season. Justice for Benny.
Where is she?
Right, she's in the kitchen. Come on up, I'll introduce you. Sorry again for trying to turn you away there.
It's fine.
You know, it's funny, your voice, it sounds different.
Number 12. Robin gets the interview. In Stranger Things' 4th season, the teens begin investigating their town's history, desperate to find something to explain the recent horrifying deaths in Hawkins. Nancy and Robin discover a news story about Victor Creel, whose family was murdered in an eerily similar way. The only catch? Creel himself was blamed and committed for those very murders. They go undercover hoping to interview him and hear his first-hand account of the event. At first, it doesn't seem like they'll get far with the stubborn hospital director, but Robin proves to be a master of improv.
I do apologize. Don't apologize, Ruth. Screw that. The fact of the matter is, we did put in a request months ago and were denied. And then we reapplied and were denied again.
She impresses him, Nancy, not to mention the audience, with an impassioned speech about the lengths she's gone to prove herself as a female journalist.
Other kids, they wanted to be astronauts, basketball players, rock stars, but I wanted to be you. I wanted to be you, so forgive me if I'll now try anything in my power, including wearing this ridiculous outfit, if I might get the chance to speak to the man that ignited my passion.
Needless to say, Robin gets them access to Creel. Number 11. Joyce exercises her son.
It's not working. It's not working. Mom, are you listening to me?
Just wait!
How much longer? Mom, look at him!
Jonathan, just wait!
Killing him!
Wait! No, leave it!
Mom, you're killing him!
We all knew Joyce was the ultimate fierce mom, but this moment took it to a new and even more badass level. Remembering that the Mind Flayer hates heat, Joyce makes the impossible choice to physically hurt her own son in order to save his soul. Binding Will to the bed and blasting him with space heaters, she stands her ground while Will screams in agony and Jonathan screams at her to stop. It's a powerful display of maternal grit that proves love isn't just soft hugs. Sometimes it's fire and fury. Watching her hold him down, sweating and sobbing but refusing to let go until that shadow monster is finally purged, all while ignoring Jonathan's pleas, reminds us that Joyce will burn down the world, or maybe just Hop's cabin, to keep her kids safe.
Will, please.
Come on.
Can you hear me?
Come on, Will.
Will!
Number 10. Whenever Nancy gets a gun. Whenever Nancy Wheeler gets a gun.
Can you use this?
I can.
Nancy may seem like just another girl next door, but when her friends and family are in danger, she is not afraid to take up arms and fight for them. Literally.
Well, we don't have to go all the way downtown for guns. I have guns. In my bedroom.
You, Nancy Wheeler, have guns, plural, in your bedroom?
Full of surprises, isn't she?
In the first season of Stranger Things, Nancy feels the need to learn how to defend herself when the horrors of the Upside Down begin to wreak havoc in Hawkins.
Screw that.
She can frequently be seen brandishing weapons of all sizes against a variety of monstrous creatures. And Steve Harrington once. These harsh realities don't cause her to back down from the fight, so Demogorgons and Mind Flayers beware. Number 9. Karen's wine bottle warrior moment. We waited years for Karen Wheeler to finally get in on the action, and the payoff was absolutely legendary. Trapped in her own house with a Demogorgon who wants Holly, and who, for all she knew, just murdered her husband, Karen was forced to act. But she didn't have a gun or psychic powers. She had some wine. And let's not forget, she was also absolutely plastered. In a moment of sheer rage, Karen smashes the wine bottle and goes absolutely feral on the creature in order to protect Holly. Yes, the Demogorgon still won the fight, but seeing the perfectly coiffed housewife transform into a monster-fighting warrior was truly one of the biggest and most fist-pumping shocks of the season. Suffice it to say, it finally earned Karen a rightful spot in the monster-fighting Hall of Fame alongside her children.
Don't try to talk, okay? Just stay calm, okay? You're gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine, okay?
Number 8. The helicopter takedown.
I copy, over.
We've got the target in our sights. Requesting permission to take the shot, over.
Jack, you don't have to do this. So upset.
Few things in Stranger Things are as cool as Eleven taking down that helicopter. After spending most of the season completely powerless, Eleven's exit from the Nina Project was, as they say, absolute cinema. As the military descends on the desert bunker to kill her, Elle doesn't run. She says goodbye to Papa, walks into the line of fire, raises a hand, and takes the helicopter down. Spinning the massive aircraft like a toy before slamming it into the ground is the definition of overpowered. And that shot of the chopper exploding in front of Elle is easily one of the show's coolest. With that massive fireball, the superhero was back and stronger than ever. The raging fire in the background as she reunites with Mike is just the cherry on top of a perfect power trip.
It's really you. It's me.
Number 7. Eleven uses her powers to shut the portal. Over the course of Season 2, Elle learns more about her past. She finds out about her birth mother, and meets up with a girl named Callie, or 8, who also has powers. Although Callie and 8 have taken very different paths in life, Callie understands her struggles and teaches her how to harness her powers to her advantage.
They stole your life, Jane.
I want you to find it.
This proves useful in her most stressful task yet, as Elle saves Hawkins in the season finale.
And eventually, it will kill you.
While also staving off the Mind Flayer's attacks, she closes the gate to the Upside Down, proving that Stranger Things has only scratched the surface of her abilities. Number 6. Joyce's relentless search.
Joyce, 99 out of 100 times kid goes missing, the kid is with a parent or a relative.
What about the other time?
What?
You said 99 out of 100. What about the other time?
Joyce.
The one.
Before viewers were introduced to Elle and her wide array of seemingly supernatural powers, they met a mother willing to do anything to find her son. Joyce Byers' search for Will begins in the series' first episode and ultimately becomes the heart of the show's introductory season.
Are you alive? Are you safe?
She refuses to be dissuaded by anyone in her search, be it law enforcement or her ex-husband, and does everything in her power to communicate with her missing child, even at the risk of looking delusional.
Maybe I am a mess. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm out of my mind. But God help me, I will keep these lights up until the day I die if I think there's a chance that Will's still out there.
This commitment to her children continues into the next season, when the now returned Will begins to see things.
Listen, look at me. I will never, ever let anything bad happen to you ever again. Whatever's going on in you, we're gonna fix it. I will fix it.
Joyce demands answers from doctors confused by his condition and insists they do more to help him. What a badass mom. Number 5. Max runs up that hill.
You're not really here.
But I am Max. I am.
Max is overwhelmed with grief following Billy's death the previous season and begins to isolate herself from her friends. When the villain Vecna begins picking off teens, Max realizes she shares the same symptoms and may be his next victim.
I don't know how long I have. All I know is that for Fred and Chrissy, they both died less than 24 hours after their first vision.
Max's trauma finally catches up with her, and it seems like she may succumb to Vecna's wrath. That is, until her friends give her the push she needs by playing her favorite song, Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill. Remembering how much her friends care for her, Max is finally able to free herself from Vecna's grasp, dodging falling projectiles as she runs back to reality. The combination of a powerful character moment, music, and visuals make this one of the series' best sequences ever. Number 4. Elle destroys the Demogorgon.
No more.
The Demogorgon is the first big bad viewers see in Stranger Things. In the first season's finale, the monster chases Elle's new friends through their school, intent on attacking them. It seems to be impervious to all of the kids' attempts to stop it, until Elle finally steps in and is able to subdue it with her powers.
Stop!
Elle pins the monster against a chalkboard and seemingly sacrifices herself to kill it.
Goodbye, Mike.
Luckily, it wasn't goodbye for the young heroine, and soon she'd be back to protect Hawkins from the dangers of the Upside Down season after season. Number 3. Karen blows up the Demo Dogs. We return to Karen Wheeler for another exceptionally badass moment. Who knew she would be so cool in the final season? Just when we thought the hospital siege was going to end in disaster, the ultimate suburban mom stepped up to the plate. With demo dogs closing in on the group in the laundry room, Karen, horribly injured and barely able to walk by the way, tapped into her inner action hero by rigging an oxygen tank inside an industrial dryer. As the monsters investigate the clanging noise, boom! Mama Wheeler obliterates them and saves the teens from almost certain death. Let's just give a quick round of applause for Karen, who didn't even know monsters existed just a few days before, and now she's a certified upside-down exterminator. Not bad, not bad. Number 2, 11 kills Akers.
One last chance. Where is she?
This is basically just a rehashed version of the scene from season 1, but dang if it isn't even cooler. We knew 11 was ruthless, but this elevates her standards to a whole different degree. After months of running and hiding from government goons, 11 finally stops running and fights back. When Lieutenant Akers and his squad cornered the group, threatening Hopper and Collie, Elle doesn't just push them away, she goes full Dark Phoenix. In a display of raw and terrifying power, she snaps various necks before telekinetically forcing Akers to turn his own gun against himself. She dismantles the whole military unit with lethal precision, serving as a stark and visceral reminder that you do not threaten the people 11 loves. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Joyce beheads Vecna. This whole story started with Joyce and her family, so it's only fitting that it ends with her as well. While 11 and Will weakened Vecna by ripping his arm off and impaling him, it was Joyce who stepped up for the execution. Vecna looks at her with blood coming from his mouth, his eyes almost pleading for mercy, but Joyce isn't having any of that. Flashing back to all the pain that the monster caused her and her family throughout the years, Joyce takes the axe and decapitates Vecna with multiple gnarly swings. It was the perfect bookend to her character arc, from the quote, crazy mom with the Christmas lights to the woman who literally killed the boogeyman. The kill was emotionally earned, cementing Joyce as the undisputed MVP of Stranger Things. Can you think of any other badass scenes involving the ladies of Stranger Things? Let us know in the comments below.